I observed in these viewers and these folks that they had been so deceived and they had been so flattered and they had been so coddled over the years that when the ice cream dish was taken away and me, Mr. Green Beans, is put in front of them and I said, well, too bad, Donald Trump's not going to get reelected. They were not ready for that.
Former Fox News politics editor Chris Stirewalt described his experience working the 2020 election night after his network called Arizona for Biden.
The viewers of Fox News were incredibly angry. I didn't make that call. I was part of a decision desk team that made a call.
To call Arizona.
To call Arizona. But I did have to go, I got to go on air to defend the call and explain the call. And lordy day, did people get very angry about that. I had one U.S. senator call for my firing and say that we were engaged in a cover-up. And I thought, are there ballots under the table that I haven't looked? What are you talking about? I observed in these viewers and these folks that they had been so deceived and they had been so flattered and they had been so coddled over the years.
This is insane, Buck.
Jesse, it almost feels like a preemptive coup.
This is the worst attack on this republic in modern history. Period.
It's like what we thought about the Gestapo and people like that they just go after people.
The FBI right now is the Gestapo. The FBI is the Gestapo.
This is some third world bullshit right here. Let me say it again. Third world bullshit. I mean every word of that.
But I don't think you can ignore the January 6th hearings last night in the context of this conversation because it's incredibly important.
You know what
I think?
I think that we can stay focused on the fact that we're
history.
waiting for the congressman to come up, and we are going to talk about this particular case.
The media assisted by covering those rallies of his like they were breaking news every single night because they were waiting to see if he said something ridiculous, which he did often. And he did that on purpose.
No, they covered him because no one has ever had crowds like that. And that's the end of that. Lisa Booth, Chris Hahn, thanks so much.
Of course you're not working to import as many new citizens as we can into the United States to replace all the disobedient ones who didn't vote for us. In other words, you're being replaced and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up. The great replacement theory, it's a lie, they yelled. George Soros has nothing to do with that. Stop talking. They said we were espousing something called the Great Replacement Theory, a well-known racist fantasy. The Great Replacement. They acknowledge that it's real and they love it. This policy is called the Great Replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries. The Great Replacement plan is working. The left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world.